Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, today we learn about how to improve speaking skill. I think English is a new language for you, but the perfection needs to be goal. The goal for the English speaking is the effective communication. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, today we learn about how to improve speaking skill. Here are the steps I take when I trying to improve my oral skill. The first one is listen a lot. You can listen to music. What your favorite music? And then the second, read a lot. Maybe you can read any book, newspaper or magazine, like Jakarta Post. And then the third, imitate. When you see and listen something, you can imitate what the pronunciation or how to spell that. And the fourth, alright, you can write your daily life every day. And then five, record yourself. When you have the vocabulary, the pronunciation, you can record yourself. I think we are in like you can stand in front of the mirror. You can see and record what you see. And for the sixth, speak. You must to speak every day and every time, because if you speak, you can memorize what you have to listen, what you have you read or listen, and you must be practice every day. A few tips. The first one, reduce your teacher talking time in the classroom by asking one or two students to share. And then increasing student talking time again by asking other students to answer a student's question. Okay, but what's the best way to improve our speaking skill? And what are the best tips for getting better at talking English? Check out these 5 tips. Okay, the first, stop worrying about grammar. When you are in the middle of a conversation, you will probably want to produce perfect grammar. Don't worry, don't do that. When you're speaking, grammar is not most important things. Instead, just focus on listening carefully to the other person and on the expressing your ideal words. If you worry too much about grammar or about remembering that perfect word, you might not say anything at all. it's better to make mistakes and think about them after the conversation. This way, you will improve your pronunciation and get better at your general speaking and listening skill. Okay, next, focus on learning complete sentences, not just words. Okay, when you practice pronouncing a new word, practice it in different sentences and situations. In English, we like to connect different sounds together. So it's important you can say new words in the middle of the phrase. Often, this can change the way we say that word. For example, the word you is our pronounced yeah in the middle of a sentence. Learning how to connect sound and produce words in different sentences will be important for your fluency. Okay, next. Listen carefully to others in the conversation. Sometimes we are so worried about what we want to say. We forget to listen carefully. How can you have a conversation with someone if you are not listening to them? If the other person say a word or phrase you don't understand, don't worry. Just continue listening. It's more important it's more important to understand the general meaning than every single word. Listening carefully will also help you learn about pronunciation, different accents, intonation, and vocabulary. Okay, next, don't forget to ask questions. Asking questions is an important skill. It's also a great way of showing the other person that you are interested. When someone is explaining something to you, try to respond and asking them a relevant question. Because when you have a question, you know the information. Next, most of all, practice. The best way to improve your speaking skill is to practice as much as possible. Because when you practice, you can memorize and you remember every day and every time. Okay, the next, remember the first, don't be shy and self-confident or self-conscious. The second, communication error can be solved. The third, a conversation is an interactive activity involving listening and speaking from both parties. Fourth, it's all about listening and asking questions. 5. Do some research. And 6. If a conversation is going wrong, it might not be your fault. Okay, thank you for your time and see you. Bye bye.